Hello, friends. Welcome to the live stream on business tips and starter tips. And today's subject of discussion is about India becoming fifth largest economy. But the point that we should, think about is it enough? Is this India becoming fifth largest economy in the world is going to change the lives of the Indians? That is a point of discussion. Is it basically we are now classified as a developed nation? That is a point of discussion in today's live stream. So moving on to discuss this further, I think in order to understand whether even after we have become the fifth largest economy globally, is it bringing any change to the living standards of people? In other words, are we developed nation? So we are not developed clearly. Even though we are the fifth largest economy, we are definitely not classified as a developed country, simply because even though there is a lot of development projects are currently on, and every day the government of India is bringing new projects, trying to improve the life of the people, trying to create new employment avenues, new business scenarios, and also preparing ourselves for future, so that the Indian society is future ready. We are more inclined towards adapting the newer mode of transportation, newer mode of communications, and more facilities are being available. And we are also asking other countries, more developed countries, to set up their institutions here, to set up their factories in India, so that we can become a production hub for the world. And now we are becoming very large economy, but are we classified as a developed nation? No, we are not classified as developed nation. And the reason for not classifying as developed nation is simply because that the standard of living is not as at par as the developed countries. Why? Simply because the developed country, there is the people have better income as compared to an average Indian. And why this is like that, we will actually analyze this. And the other target that has been set by the Indian government is that we have to become a $5 trillion economy. Now, when we say that we have to become $5 trillion economy, what does it mean for all of us? Does it mean that by becoming $5 trillion economy, we will achieve certain standard of living? No, but I think this is one of the midterm, interim, sort of a milestone that we need to cross as a country, simply because if we are able to cross this milestone, then we may surpass some of these developed countries in terms of their net worth. But by crossing the $5 trillion economy also is not going to bring a lot of change to the lives of the people. So even though India as a nation would have crossed $5 trillion economy, there will be only marginal difference in terms of living standard of people or the income levels of the people. So, and therefore, even after becoming $5 trillion economy, we will not be a developed country, simply because India is a very large country with huge landmass, and there are all kinds of shortages in the country. While there are a lot of people, the population is huge. I don't have to repeat that. It is very important fact that we are 1.4 billion people. So we have already crossed 1.4 billion people. There are a lot of shortages in the country because we need to feed and take care of so many people. So petroleum is one shortage, and there are other things like water resources, and also the food. How much food we can have. To basically make sure that there are no untoward incidents, everybody gets a square meal, and all the requirements, especially India is also being very diversified country. So each one of us, or each one of Indians will have different requirements. So each one of the requirements are also met, while the freedom and all of these democratic rights are also provided to the people, so that while you improve the living standard, you don't actually go down on any other parameters, which are the parameters of freedom and your education, etc. So we cannot overlook any of these parameters, and then we have a large country to look after, we have large population to look after. So by achieving the target of $5 trillion economy is only only an interim achievement. It is not going to change the life of the people. And in order to basically improve the lives of the people and improve the living standards, we have to continue our growth trajectory for about at least 20 years and continue to grow 8 to 9% every year, so that if we have to compete with the living standards of the developed country, then the India must have a growth of continuous growth. There should not be any untoward incident, like any sort of calamity or any drop in any sort of business scenario. 8 to 9% every year. If we have a growth for at least 20 years, then we will become a developed country, very large developed country. As we used to know India as Soni ki Chidiya. Everybody used to live very happily here, as way back as 500 years back, until the invaders and the Europeans arrived, which spoiled our economy. So we want to relive our past, past which existed about 500-600 years back. Then in order to achieve the same glory, we have to continue our growth trajectory for at least 20 years, looking at the current standards, and every year on year growth of 8 to 9%. And if we are able to do that without any interruption in between, then in 20 years we will achieve this magic figure. And this magic figure is $13,205. And what is this magic figure? This magic figure is the per capita income of a developed citizen of a developed country. So today our per capita income is around $2,000 per annum, and in order to achieve the same living standard of a developed any citizen of a developed country, this is a amount of per capita income that India needs to generate of $13,000 per annum at least, or upwards of that, and then we will be able to match the living standards of a developed country. And that is why by achieving $5 trillion is only an interim target for the nation, and to become a developed country, it's still a long way. Simply because India is a very large country with huge population, with limited resources and very diversified requirements and needs. And in order to come up with this figure of 13,000 or upwards of 13,000, all you have to do is basically divide the size of the economy divided by number of people that exist in that country. So it's a very simple math. So in order to, so you can also do a reverse math and apply the population parameter and multiply by $13,000 per annum. You will get how much should be the net worth for India to become a developed country. So it obviously upwards of about $20 trillion economy. And once you become surpass $20 to $22 trillion economy, then only the living standards of average Indian will improve. So this is something which I wanted to bring you as an analysis. What do you think about this? If you have any suggestions, opinion, feel free to send in your comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, 2:30. Until then, have a nice day. Keep selling, keep rocking. Bye-bye.